Go ahead and kick this thing off. Thank you everybody for joining this webinar. Today, a little bit about Frontline is been in business for about 3 years. We started the quality assurance tracker about a year ago with the assistance of the Denise Amberly Foundation and several directors across the country to come up with a unique way to track quality assurance, a very cost-effective way, and give you analytics instead of just doing them by Excel or however you guys are managing them now. Our software allows a lot of analytics that you're going to see today, and I hope you guys get impressed. But Cheryl Ornberg is with us, the director of Denise Amberly Foundation. She's just going to kick it off about quality assurance, and then right from there, we're going to go into the demo. Cheryl, thanks for joining us, and go ahead.
Well, good afternoon or morning if you're on the East Coast still. I'm very pleased to be here. Just a couple things about quality assurance that I believe are so important. Quality assurance is the only mechanism that management has for ensuring that staff members are fully aware of the policies and procedures that your agency has in place. And regular and routine quality assurance reviews are the only mechanism that management has to be fully aware of the exceptional or possibly unsatisfactory performance by personnel within your agencies. All the training in the world is absolutely useless if the professional telecommunicator isn't being continuously monitored and reinforced for proper procedures. In the absence of order, structure, and employee measurements, standards of service will erode and deteriorate. If you evaluate what you want, it needs to be measured to get produced. So that pretty much encapsulates the reasoning behind why you should be doing, if you are not already, quality assurance. In fact, you can be standing in the operations room right next to your staff members, and considering that they are on headsets, you only hear half the conversation. So you can't truly know what your staff is doing and if they are following your policies and procedures. And I'll turn it back over to you.
Yep,
Ben.
Thank you, Cheryl. So I'm going to get into this right away, get into the software. So everything you're going to look at today is cloud-based. It is all SSL secured, so it is all encrypted when it leaves our servers and goes to you. Each dispatch center will get their own private domain, and you would have a login screen like this, and we would go ahead and create your login. Our software is able to use on an iPad, iPhone, Android, and desktop. So we have some agencies that even do live QA doing this software. And some, and some it's just our ultimate goal is to find an easy way for you to do your evaluations and give you the data that you need. So as a administrator or supervisor, if you log into the software, the first thing it does is bring you up to your dashboard. This dashboard can be customized by you in terms of what time frame you're looking at. As you can see, it shows how many evaluations your center has done, your average score in your center, how many perfect scores. This below average score is built by you. Maybe you want to, you're fresh to quality assurance and you want to start at a 70% passing rate. You can go ahead and change that to 70%. As time goes on, this can be changed higher and higher, whatever you want to do in your center. It's going to show you who your top performers are in that time frame. This is the 6. So this software also comes preloaded with all 6 APCO NENA standard questions. So the call taking for EMS, fire, police, and dispatching for EMS, fire, police. If your center doesn't do fire or anything like that, you can always disable the forms. The forms are also very customizable, which I'll show you in a couple minutes. This is just letting you know percentage-wise, form over form, what percent are you doing in your center for this time frame. And obviously, after you have the software for a while, we did build you a month-over-month chart, so you're going to be able to see if you're progressing or declining in your average score month-over-month. So that's what a dashboard is. Let me real quickly go into what an evaluation looks like compared to what you're doing now. So we're going to take the call. We're listening to a, let's say, call taking for police. We're going to do one, say it's me. The evaluator cannot be changed because I'm logged in as Ethan here. So the person who's doing the evaluation is automatically in there. What type of call are we doing? We're doing let's say it was a battery call. Date the call came in, let's say it was the August 4th at 14:15:13 at 123 Main. And let's put in our CAD number. One thing that I want to point out here, we do have the ability to run an API through this CAD event number. So what that means is if you type in 19-1234, the rest of this data here will autofill for you. It'll feed in your CAD system and autofill. So it'll save you a few seconds, but an opportunity is there to do. So from here, I'm going to go and start the evaluation. So I come through here. You're going to see the top part is already filled out for you. And now we're going to start filling out. We're listening to the call. We're selecting yes or no on the call taker side. So let's get through this real quick together. As you can see, as I'm changing these numbers, as I'm changing these numbers down below, it's applying the points dynamically right away. So I'm going in through the first section here. Now I'm going to do CAD skills. We're going to go ahead and get through that. Now we're doing our supervisor overview. And then we're going to finish with telephone protocol skills. So let's get through this. If for any reason we had to leave because say you got called out to the floor or something happened, just come in here and click save. Your evaluation will be saved and you can come back and finish it up at a later time. So you don't have to finish the evaluation as you're doing it. So I'm going through finishing the evaluation. Also, this button here will not turn green until every button is filled out. So the reason why we do that is to prevent any sort of user error that could occur. So I'm done with this evaluation. We put in our comments. This could be positive, negative, whatever you want to feel about your evaluation. That's going to go to the evaluator. Now I'm going to click save. I'm done. What this will do now is I can scroll down. So it's going to break it down by actual section. So each category, interview questions, CAD skills, supervisor, and you get to see the percentage of how they did, and then the overall percentage of the evaluation. When I'm done with that, I hit complete. Once I hit complete, it's going to put a digital signature of me, the evaluator, and the date I completed it. Please know that that's an on-off feature. I'm going to show you where we do that. If you don't like the signature feature, you don't have to use it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to log out real quick and log in as the user. So I'm now the person who was evaluated on. When they log in, it takes them directly to their evaluations that they have in the system. You can see all that stuff up here is gone. All they have the ability to do is view their own evaluations and view whatever was in the document library. And I'll show you what that does in a second. So now this was the evaluation that just was done on me. I am the dispatcher. I'm reviewing my evaluation. You have there's an on-off feature. Again, this is customized by you. If you want to give the dispatcher the ability to, I guess I kind of call it the excuse button, or they listen to it and they disagree with something that you said or question something, they can come in here and write a comment as well. And this will record within that quality assurance evaluation. So that's a one-time thing that goes to the dispatcher. They can respond and you're going to see their comment here below. Now, as you can see, it says click here to acknowledge that you received this form. We're not going to have a debate of click here to acknowledge that you agree with this evaluation. We just want them to sign off on it, and we know that, hey, they read that evaluation, and now it's going to digitally sign me, who's logged in as the user. So this is all that they can see as the actual dispatcher. So they can't look at other people's evaluations. They only can view their own. They can export it to PDF, and that's about it. We don't give them any other data. So I'm going to log back out and log back in as the administrator. Okay, so now that evaluation has been completed. Me as the evaluator, I can come in here. If I see something that says view pending comments, that means that they commented back on my evaluation that I did. So I can click into it, view it. I can see what they put is in their comments here, which I just wrote comment. But once you do that, that will come in here. I'll do, maybe you want to look into their excuse of why they put on there, or maybe they said you answered something wrong. You can do your investigation, you dispo it out, maybe add your final comments and then dispo it out, and it's done. So it doesn't go back and forth. It's not an argument between the dispatch, or between the evaluator and the dispatcher. It's one-time feature comment. So that's how we do evaluations. That's how easy they are to get into the system. And that's how your data gets in there. Real quick, I want to go into some of the customizations of our software. There's a lot. So we allow you, do you want military time or regular? The majority of the centers obviously do military time to match with a CAD number. This is where we allow that second comment feature if that's something you want to do or not. I'm going to explain calibrations in a minute. Alerts, allowed refused points means, and so if you look at the math, say we had 10 questions and 8 were answered yes and 1 was answered NA or refused. This says the points will go towards the dispatcher instead of being neutral. So if we had 8 yeses, 1 no, or 9 yeses, 1 no, instead of a 90%, it would be like a 88.89. So that's up to your center if you want the refused or not available points to go towards the dispatcher and not stay neutral. So we allow you to customize that. Here's where you change the passing score. So here's where we manage our users. Just one thing I want to point out on this, there's not much to it. You put in the information about your dispatcher, their rank. We do allow groups. These groups are managed by you. You can call them whatever you want. Maybe your different platoons. Maybe you want to do it by specialties. Whatever you want to do, you can create a group and put that person in a group. This is their star number, email. We do have not active, so if dispatchers don't pass training or retire, we don't want to delete their evaluations. Just make them not active. Their evaluations will always stay, but you no longer can do new ones for them. Username, password, and again, 3 roles. Administrator is the power of the full system to delete things and go in there and do everything. A supervisor can view everybody's evaluation and run reports, and a user is a dispatcher who can only see their own evaluations. For the smaller centers that are on this webinar, you can have a user role, which would be a dispatcher, and they can also be an evaluator. They're only going to be able to see their own evaluations they do, but we know in small centers, sometimes we don't have enough supervisors, so maybe we have dispatchers doing evaluations on others. We just give you that capability. However you manage it in your center is up to you guys. Going into the customization, as I said, this does come preloaded with all 6 of these forms. We can go in here under call taking for EMS. I can update my question order. If there's certain you want higher or lower, you don't have to come in here and change anything. You just drop and drag. You can change your category orders by drop and dragging. This is where you turn on the digital signature. And this is how you also disable the form if it is a form you do not use. You can create new forms. We have centers that build customer service forms, and we've seen all sorts of stuff that they use within our software. We definitely allow you to do create as many forms as you would like. Also, here are your categories. As you can see, we can build a new category and say we want it to be a yes, no, or NA field. Like as in the future, there's going to be more to quality assurance. So our software is adaptive to that. And when the new categories, if a new category came out or new questions, they can immediately be added into the software. Here's where I add the questions to the category and structure the points. Know that these points too can be changed by you. So let's say did they verify the address twice was the most important in your center. Instead of being worth 200 points, I think it is, you can make it worth double that. And now it could be an automatic failure because they're going to be below the passing score. So all that's customized by you and your agency. These are your nature codes. If you do have a long list of nature codes, you can always send that to us in an Excel file and we will upload that for you. Managing forms I showed you, and then this is where you manage your alerts. What an alert is you customize who's under this manage emails button here. If an alert kicks, who's that alert going to go to? So an alert is every question within our system. You get to customize what question do you want to put an alert on. So ask if anyone is injured. They answered no. Over a 90-day period, they had 2 infractions. Anybody who hits that without you knowing, you're going to get alerted. So you can have as many alerts as you want within the system, and you're going to get an email alert, and this is going to turn red, and you're going to get called. You're going to get an alert popping up here when you log in. So these are an example of some alerts. So Ryan here had call taking for fire incidents, interview questions, caller jobs attained, no. They wanted to be notified every time that somebody failed that question, and an alert went out. And then with that alert pops the evaluation. You can pop it up right from that alert screen. So alerts was idea by Cheryl and her team, and we made it live, and it's working very effectively. So as many alerts as you want, you're good to go. Once you complete your alert or you're alerted and you're done, you can click close alert, and that will go into your closed alert category, which would be down here. And now here's any of my alerts that have been closed. Calibration, briefly, for any of you who maybe don't know what calibration is or why we do it. Calibration is where if you're the director or you're the expert of quality assurance in your center and you want to test some other evaluators to see how they're being scored, you can create a calibration. It's going to look like this. So when they complete it, you'll see the percentage that they got on it. You'll do it yourself, and then you're going to base your percentages on there. So if we have a 95, 95, 95, and 70, maybe we want to look into that 70, and maybe that person might need some training. So it's just it doesn't get tracked under your reports. It's your own little system to where you can manage, like here's one with a complete one with an 83.17. You can actually view it right from here. So just making sure that all your people are doing the quality assurance evaluations are all scoring them accurately the way you want them to be scored. Employee roster, as a supervisor or above, I can view everybody's roster and go ahead and click on that person, and now I'm within their dashboard where I can see how many evaluations they've done, their average score. I can view any evaluation from here. I can edit an evaluation and delete. That's only if I'm an admin. So if I did one by mistake here, this is where you come in here, you have the ability to delete an evaluation. But again, even a supervisor cannot do that. You have to be an admin or above. Document library here, we allow you to upload, it's kind of like a file share system, 10 megs per file. We give you unlimited data. You might want to come in here and put in the quality assurance standards that's out there. So you can load that up and view it right from the PDF once it's done. And now right here, it's going to load up here's the standard that's actually in place. And now that's being documented in our document library. So you can put whatever you want in that system. We allow you to put as many files and call it whatever you want. Just put a document title on it, upload the PDF, and put it in the document library. You can email that directly and so on. So that's our document library. Now, what gives us a little more, I think, above the rest, and the other competition that's out there is the type of reporting that we have. So all these boxes that you see on my screen, these are all what we call and statements. So the more data you put in here, the less you're probably going to get. So I want a call that was call taking for police. I want to know every call taking for police incident done by Ben Laird as the employee, and that's gonna pop. I can tell you that there's 8 search results, and I'm averaging an 82.32% for that. We can put in date ranges. We can search by groups. I can search by a type of call and see what our failure rate is on it. I can now see, okay, how many people have failed in a certain time range, and that data is going to pop. And now I have 16 results in my system of failure scores, that being the average failure of a 56.96. So just to give you an idea of how powerful, if we want to know who's completed an evaluation and has not signed off on it, you can click just the unsigned, hit search. This is now where people that you've done an evaluation for them and they never signed off on that evaluation. So that first report does give you a lot of data. Please know that all our reports are exportable to PDF and Excel. So whatever information you need, that's what this first page will do. Reports by questions really breaks it down. So if I want, let's call it dispatching for police, and I want a category, we'll call it information flow. I want to do, was the correct information given? No. So I have, in this example, I have 1 failure on that question. Now, if I get rid of this yes, no, and hit search, this is telling me in our system for dispatching for police, information flow, correctly identified the information. This is telling me my center has a 91.67% success rate and an 8.33 failure rate on that question. Right from here, if I want to view that no, I can come in here and I know that this is that evaluation. I can click view, and that evaluation is right here in front of me. I can export all evaluations out to PDF, email, and or copy it to clipboard. So a lot of powerful things can go in that report by questions. That maybe the ways maybe you want to search by an evaluator or a date, or we allow you to do date of call and date of evaluation. But all that data is exportable as well. and gives you from there. So the performance summary I'm going to do last. Evaluation count is a quick way to make sure we're not forgetting people. So this is telling me these are your employees. This is how many pending evaluations there are, how many completed, and then how many total, and the last time you did one. So people, you know, we forget, especially if we're doing these maybe by Excel or Word, or I'm not sure how we're doing them in all your centers, but this is just a quick way to make sure that we're on task, keeping everybody up to par, and not skipping a dispatcher. So a performance summary is we created as a report to be something that you can give to your board, or maybe when you guys have your quarterly or monthly, I'm not sure, every center's different meetings. If you're a consolidated center with your police department and you want to let them know, hey, let me show you how we're doing on our evaluations, or maybe your board, you have a board that you report to. So you can put whatever your date of, you can put a date of evaluation or date of call. For this case, I'm just going to run a full report in my entire demo environment. You can include questions or not. If you don't, it'll just show the categories, but I want you to kind of see what kind of information this will provide. So this is a performance summary report. It won't say frontline. It's going to say the name of your center right here. I didn't put in the date, range, or call or any of that other information, so that information is not available. But here's what it tells you. For example, call taking for fire incidents. We've had 71 evaluations in my demo environment, and I have a compliancy rate of 94.07%. Now remember, I'm not running a time frame, so that's going to greatly increase my numbers. If I wanted to say, hey, this year from January 1st to August, let's run a performance summary report. Not only is it going to break it down by your category and tell you what your compliance rate is, it's going to break it down by every single questions or by the actual category itself. And then it's going to tell you your pass-fail rate per question. So as you can see the data below, for CAD scales, accurate info into CAD, at my center, we're at 95.77% passing with a 2.82% failure rate and 1.41 not available. I can keep going on and on and on, but next, evaluation form call taking for police. We've done 33 of these in our center with an average compliance score of 93.15, and again, breaks it down by category compliance and question compliance. And remember, that's customized by you. You can turn off the questions if that's too much for you and you just want to show category compliance, you can show that. It's going to take all that data. So I did all 6 forms. You guys can do it by, if you want a form or not a form or however you guys want to do it. And then from there, we can take this, export this to a PDF file and email it out. Maybe this is a report you want the board to see, or you want to present it at a meeting. You export it right to PDF. And then from there, it'll open up in a pretty report and you can print it out, mail it. I'll show you what the PDF looks like. So QA tracker, right? That's the SQL database you're using to track this information. Performance summary report, that will show the name of your center. And then these are all the questions and your success and failure rates. So very powerful report that gives you a lot of analytics for the data you're putting in. Like Excel, these other programs won't give you that type of data. And that is about it for the reporting. So what I'm going to do now is just pass it to Cheryl real quick, just to talk about her thoughts of the software. And then Ethan, I'm going to ask you if you have any questions, you can either put it in the chat line or you can unmute yourself and ask the question for Cheryl or I, if you have any. So Cheryl, go ahead.
Okay, thanks, Ben. I believe that the frontline application software has unparalleled capabilities, which enormously reduces the time required to perform a QA review. The product is so easy to use that it is totally based on the national standards for quality assurance assessments. The company provides exceptional customer service, which is extraordinarily receptive and responsive to its customers' needs and inquiries. In my 50 years in public safety communications, I have never encountered a company that was so focused on the customer with a level of quality that is unmatched by any vendor that I have ever come across. The analytics that the Frontline QA Tracker provides are significant tools for all PSAP management teams to ensure that they have a comprehensive overview of their staff's capabilities. The software is exceptionally cost-effective, and I strongly believe that it is a major advancement to any sized PSAP. I am so pleased to have found this.
Thank you, Cheryl. And just to give you an idea of pricing, we are a subscription-based company. It's a once-a-year fee. There are no hidden costs. There are no startup fees. There are no onboarding fees. There are no training fees. You call us. We're here to help you the whole way through. And let's say an average center of 25 users, you're looking at about $1,500 a year, and that would give you unlimited data, unlimited users. If you hired 3 more, you don't need to let us know. We don't do a licensing fee or any of that stuff. So obviously, if you're a larger center, the price goes up a little bit, but we try to stay very fair in terms of pricing, and it is a one-time fee that would cover everything, just so you know. So that is all I have to say. This is you can visit our website. There's our phone number. You can request a quote online at our website. Ethan, are there any questions that anybody asked in the chat?
There were a few. Thanks, Ben. Thanks, Cheryl. So of the questions I received directly, one of the questions was, how long does it take to set up and get started?
Great question. The onboarding process is, Ethan, you tell us you want the software, we'll send you a DocuSign, which just you tell me who your main admin is, what username and password you want, and what you want the name of your domain or the name of your center. Ethan creates that account that day, and your account is then made. You'll set up an onboarding with Ethan, which lasts 20 to 30 minutes tops. It's not hard software to do. You put your users in there. Remember, the forms are already loaded. So once your users are set and Ethan helps you with all that on the onboarding process, you're ready to go live. So we get you set up that same day. The following day, you can do an onboarding and you're ready to start entering into the system. It's very, very quick.
Another one was, do you offer third-party QA?
So Frontline does not offer third-party QA, but that is exactly what the Denise Amber Lee Foundation does. Cheryl, if you want to answer that, of what you offer for the Denise Amber Lee Foundation.
We absolutely do offer third party, and we do use the QA tracker from Frontline with a number of our clients. Certainly third party QA gives you a totally unbiased assessment of the work product that your staff is doing, because we wouldn't know any of the staff members. And that's something you could contact the foundation for further information.
Excellent.
Thank you, Cheryl. I got a question from Katrina. She asks, can you edit a review once you complete it if you make an error?
Yes. Yeah, I should have showed that in the demo. Thanks for, but you know, and it is possible that we make errors, right? We thought we heard something and we missed it. At any time, as long as it's your evaluation or you're an admin, you can go in there and click edit and change a no to a yes or a yes to a no. Yes, that completely can be done anytime after the evaluation is complete.
Okay, and the last one I have here is there any API options that communicates with my CAD? And how does that work?
Is Russ with you, Ethan, in there?
He is, but I can cover the API a little bit as well, if you'd like.
Okay, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
So the way it works is with the help of your IT team and our IT team, we put the two people together. They develop an API together where our system would communicate with your CAD system. It rearranges the evaluation form to where the first text box in the evaluation form is asking for the CAD event number, where you would then punch in that CAD or event number. Once you punch it in and hit tab, it autofills the rest of the details, the date of the call, the call taker, all of the details. So it saves a lot of time, and a lot of the centers, we have some centers that have done in the past year up to 8,000 evaluations. So even though if it's just for one evaluation, it doesn't save a lot of time per one, but overall it's saving you a lot of time in the long run down the road. So, and with that is a slight upcharge for it, just because it requires maintenance and setup. But that is sort of how our API formatting works.
And just so you know, if you got an API at any other company, it's going to cost a lot of money. Our standard fee is right around $1,000 for the API. So we try to stay super, super low on that in comparison to other software vendors out there. I just popped out the chat and I saw Patricia had some questions here. I'm going to answer all three of these real quick. The information is stored, Patricia, forever. We don't go in there and delete your data. So that's to answer your first question. How long is the information stored? The answer is unless you delete it, we don't delete your data. This is a renewal. The next question is confirm this is a one-time cost or a yearly renewal. We're a subscription, which means we're a once-a-year fee. But that will include updates that we're doing, which we're always doing updates. We're always trying to make it the best platform, and you know, so that's what you're paying for, and the data and the storage and all that stuff. How many people can have admin privileges? However many you want in your center. I will give you caution. I think Cheryl would agree with me on this. You don't want that many admins though, because remember they have the power to delete and to go in there and change passwords. So you can have as many admins as you would like, but you in your center, being large or small, you probably don't want that many. Another question that was asked, can we upload our call types? What upload our call types? You mean nature codes? Or Cheryl, do you know what that means? Can we upload our call types?
I would assume that's nature code as well. Otherwise, they're going to have to clarify that.
They're a secondary piece app, so they're asking if they can upload their call types. I think that means, yeah, if you're talking about nature codes, we can do a one-time upload for you of them all, or you can enter them in manually. If that is the question, if I'm answering that correctly. Ethan, were there any other questions in the chat? I'm only seeing the new stuff that comes out.
That's what I had so far.
Okay, if anybody wants to unmute yourself, or if you had any longer questions that you want to type up, feel free to unmute and throw a question at us. At the end of this thing, we will send you an email with our contact info and this recording as well of the webinar. If there's anybody else that you want to see it, feel free to take that and forward off to anybody within your center if they wanted to see what the software looks like. Are there any questions from anybody out there who has a verbal question? Okay. All right. Well, I want to thank everybody for joining us today. I hope you learned something, and I hope if you're using a product or you're using Excel, please look into ours. We're really proud of it, and there were a lot of people that were involved to create it. So appreciate your time, and please reach out to us for a quote, and we will get back to you right away. Have a great rest of your week. And again, thank you for your time.